Isn't this pretty good for a Sunday?
That's a bit strange.
Have you? Thank you to everyone to come here today as well. Have you been in and played Abbey Road before? Is this the first time?
Never had the privilege. It's a very, especially for 10:50 in the morning. It's a really surreal thing to be part of.
It's early for musicians as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's feel very blessed. It's having time.
Well, welcome, Scott Matthews. I'm really excited to see you play. We've had a little chat. You're currently on tour with Fairground Attraction.
That's right. Yeah.
How's that been going? How the show's been going?
It's been wonderful. We've played the Royal Festival Hall last night, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Nick Drake fan, and to know that in 24th of September 1969, Nick Drake stood on the same spot to an unknown audience supporting Fairport Convention. So pretty amazing.
You almost said Fairground Attraction, didn't you?
It's the whole time, yes. Just this time of the morning. But yeah, it's.
So this is kind of as close as a day off as you get in on the tour, isn't it?
I guess so, yeah. You just need periods of kind of time to recuperate, especially when you kind of sing intensity tonight, it catches up on you in time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've had an incredible trajectory. It's a tough word for Point Day. Trajectory, since you began your kind of recording career, your first single won an Ivor Novello Award, musically and lyrically, which is pretty epic.
Again, they're kind of so early into my career as well. It was, I think one thing it instilled was a belief in, because you always kind of wonder about, you write the songs and you kind of get in this insular world of your songs, but to get recognition for that so early on.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. It really did. And I think, I was late kind of in terms of singing. So I think to get an award like an Ivor Novello it really instilled all the belief I needed.
Yeah.
To pursue it,
Yeah.
And that was a great feeling.
Well, it's good that you did. You've had amazing critical acclaim from very well-respected people in music. Worked with Robert Plant, toured with Rufus Wainwright, Tori Amos, all kinds of people. And you've actually collaborated. You worked with Robert Plant, didn't you, on one of the...
Yeah, Robert sang on my second album, Elsewhere, which was, I got to know him through a producer friend. And Robert was really taken with the first record. And I think as we're from where we're from in the West Midlands as well, I think he was happy that there was somebody else
representing.
Yeah, somebody else kind of almost like dipping their toes into certain kind of cultures and ways of writing songs.
Yeah.
And I think Robert could relate to that.
Yeah.
And we just hit it off. And of course, we support the same football team as well.
It all comes down to football. It kind of brings us up to sort of present day with your latest album, Restless Lullabies, which it says here is the yin to New Skin's yang, New Skin being obviously the album previous to that. How did it come about that you sort of took the essence of the songs of New Skin and re-represented it in a much more acoustic manner?
I think there's an interesting... so the idea is that I made an album called New Skin, which was an album I recorded during COVID, right in the depths of lockdown. So I couldn't work with the band as such, and I didn't fancy the idea of the remote sessions and everybody sending me drum parts and all that. So I was always intrigued in ambient music, and I think about Brian Eno and music for airports, all that kind of scene. And so I was quite keen to make an ambient electronic, minimalist electronic album with kind of notes of Cocteau Twins and just big washed out shoegazy guitars, So that happened, and then there's always intrigue for Restless Lullabies, which is the acoustic equivalent of the album. And I just thought, well, I've got to translate this to an audience, so I have to make it guitar and voice.
Right.
And I think if I didn't capture that type of record, I would never have done it in the first place.
So was it a kind of a means to an end whereby you wanted to find a way to take it live, but be something that's quite kind of self-encapsulating? You can do the album on your own in front of people.
It's a cliche, I guess, but it's that test of you just sitting there with a guitar and just, has it got some legs as a piece of music? And I'm so happy it exists, because in some strange way, I think I prefer it to New Skin.
I really love both. I sat and I listened to both last night, and it's like they kind obviously musically, they kind of are the same songs, but they're two very different albums.
Wow, totally.
Very, very different. And I think one of the tests of a great song and songwriter is if you can take a song and strip it down to an acoustic version and it's still great.
Yeah.
The essence of like the craftsmanship is there.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a believer of, I use the word a lot, chameleonic. The songs can transform at any time. And
That's a great word.
it is. So
Is that could be the title of your next album?
maybe. But I like the idea of just a song. I'm fortunate to have been touring for nearly 20 years and songs have traveled with me, that I wrote back in 2004. And it's interesting to hear their progression and moments where I kind of surprise myself, for better or worse. And you evolve in that way. And I think the songs have definitely shaped who I am and continue to do that.
Well, it takes quite a lot of vulnerability, I think, to be in that position. Where you say the songs shape you, do you feel like you give yourself up to that creativity and trust that? I
think you have to, yeah. It's just this, and the more songs you record and you write, I think it's definitely, as we are in our life, we have periods of refinement and we understand a bit more about ourselves. And so I think the pathway becomes a lot clearer in some ways. But then I think about Robert Frost as well, who quoted, was it 2 roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less travelled by. And that has made all the difference.
Yeah.
So I just think it was a case of, let's just explore something I wouldn't naturally go down, hence why New Skin kind of was born, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I love these unknown adventures.
Do you think that being a musician, you kind of have to open yourself up to bigger, more lucid experiences in order to draw upon these things to kind of write about and be inspired by?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's kind of what the songs are. It's my life, And you go to an exhibition and you see 10 new canvases by a painter, and that's where he is at this moment in his life as well. So yeah, it's always about the experience first and foremost, and then I enjoy things like people watching and just kind of get a totally different perspective on a character.
Yeah.
And I can just start scribbling away somewhere, and just next thing you know, I've got a verse about this.
So one of you might be in his songs.
I'm watching you.
You turn around and he's like, how do you prepare how do you go from the transition of recorded music to playing it on stage? Are there things is there a process you go through where you have to kind of make it more malleable to perform on stage?
Yeah, that's where the challenge comes, I think, because you can kind of get a bit studio happy and, I've got all these channels to multi-layer.
You forget you've actually got to play the thing.
So the reality is I have to, I'm a working musician, this is my livelihood. And when you have to tour your albums, it's like you've got to be realist as well. As much as you want to add all the bells and whistles, there's got to be the truth in the way you're presenting. And I think, and of course the budget as well. It's always at the
That's true.
core of it, I can afford to take 5 musicians with me on the road. That's fine, but
5 hotel rooms.
Yeah,
flights.
That's it. So I think I've enjoyed the challenge of trying to work that way of, playing the songs in the way I wrote them.
Yeah.
But it does become a challenge.
Would you say you enjoy being in the studio where possibilities are endless, or kind of being on the road where sort of anything can happen in equal measures, or just sometimes one up?
It's interesting. I think the more I kind of move through this career of mine, I'm totally smitten with the idea of just being myself on the stage, and I think that's where the truth is. I think sometimes with studio records, you have a tendency to get a little bit lost in it. You need, it's like we're all human beings. We need that adrenaline and that emotional charge that comes through being with somebody and connecting with someone. And I think, and you hear that on the records, and especially live recordings.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the album versions and it's like, it feels a bit flat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's life is there, of course, but it's not engaging with the listener in a sense.
There's something great about the live shows where it's never going to happen again. You're never going to see that version again, and you're witnessing it for the first and only time.
Yeah.
Which kind of lives with you as an onlooker, but it lives with you as a musician as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think in today's world of technology and just all this kind of nonsense of social media. It's like, it's good that I think everyone's looking for a unique experience day to day. And it doesn't have to be documented. It can just be like, just switch off from the moment and just like, you know, be present with.
I think that's it, isn't it? The need to, I mean, this is a whole nother conversation really, but the need or that feeling, the compulsion to document even the minutiae of everyone's life. Like, how do you feel about even people just filming your shows? Like,
Yeah,
does that distract you?
It's part and parcel of it. I mean, my first song at the Royal, Festival Hall last night, someone's phone went off.
Oh.
It wasn't in the wrong key, which kind of disappointed me. But,
wasn't even in time.
Yeah, so that was like sort of in C sharp, but I think there was rocking a B flat, and it was just, oh, come on, man. If it's going to kick off, just at least find the ringtone that suits.
Or maybe like set everyone's ringtone to one of your tracks before they come in, so at least, you know.
Yeah.
Royalties.
Maybe, yeah.
You did something, are we okay for time? We're okay for 5 minutes, okay. You did something quite, I thought was amazing for your Restless Lullabies album, where you're selling the handwritten lyric book.
Yeah.
But it's not just one copy, it's you will do it every single time. No. Every single time an order comes through, you will write out the whole album of lyrics.
Yeah, it's something we started in 2018. Me and my wife, I've got my own little kind of boutique record label, I guess, very much DIY. We don't have distribution or anything. So one thought somebody suggested is lyric sheets. So I started to, and my background is sign writing. Or on the pubs and clubs. So I'd be tagging everyone's boards with graffiti and getting paid for it. So I thought, well, I'll put it to some kind of use. And yeah, I must have written about 400 or so since 2018. And it's, again, on about that unique thing. It's, everyone's totally different.
That's amazing. When I read that, I was just like, I don't think artists wouldn't want to put, well, I don't mean to speak badly of people, but like, that's a lot of effort, I think, and it's a very personal touch, which you don't see so often these days.
I kind of enjoy it. I enjoy the process of revisiting as well, because somebody will put an order in for a song and it's like, I haven't sang that song for years. Yeah. So then you come to revisit it with your hands and start to write the words again. It's like, oh yeah, that's where I was. And it's almost like a little time capsule of who you were. And I think that's quite a nice kind of charm to that still exists.
Struck me as something is really really lovely and really thoughtful.
Personal.
I mean, obviously you're a fantastic lyricist as well as a musician and composer, which, does one come more easy than the other? Like if you are writing words, does a melody come with the way the phraseology, or like sometimes the other way around? I'm
48 now, and I've been a guitarist since I was 11. Yeah. And I didn't start singing until I was in my mid to late 20s. So the guitar is always at the core of it, you know, and it wasn't until I transitioned to acoustic that things started to make more sense. And then through the acoustic pattern and the kind of mantra of an open tuning or a riff or something, then the feeling and the sentiment start to become clear about what the song needs to say.
Yeah.
And then, but and it takes me a long time to get the lyrics to marry up with the intensity of the speed that I write guitar music.
Right.
So one song, for instance, off my second album was called Up on the Hill. And I wrote the music in 2005, I think it was, but it wasn't until many years later that I came up with the words.
Oh.
And more recently on Restless Lullabies, there's a song called My Selfless Moon, which I wrote the music in 2003, but I only wrote the lyrics 2 years ago. Okay. So it's like sometimes words and music kind of waiting to find each other.
It's funny, isn't it? I think that's why it's important to write everything down. Are you like always scribbling or doing the voice notes and documenting your kind of observations?
Yeah, I always keep a little leather-bound kind of book and just scribble away every now and again. And as well as trying to, but it's hard when, you know, my little boy's 6 years old, little Elliot, and so I'm kind of busy with Thomas the Tank most of the time. And just, Well,
that's how you introduce into the Beatles, because you're like, well, his voice is Ringo Starr, and Ringo Starr.
But it's cool to see my little boy interested in music, and his playlist is pretty insane. And so I'm revisiting all these great songs again, and that's beautiful. In this room, it's just absolutely
It is an absolute honour and joy to be here, and very much looking forward to you playing. I'm going to let you get on with it. You've got some incredible guitars lined up.
Working guitars, they're not expensive, but they're just good working guitars.
Yeah.
And that's, but I have a lovely old Levin, I forgot the model number, but it's from 1964. It's a Swedish guitar, and the guitar set there's a Diamond Dynasonic pickup, which sounds glorious.
Difficult to get hold of these days.
Yeah, they're like hen's teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you, Scott Matthews.
Thanks,
and please give a round of applause, and we'll leave you to
Thank you.
enjoy the show.
I feel like Beyonce question.
So is something in your head to tame those wild thoughts again? The beast is on the prowl, demons to arouse, something to ease the weight, to take away the strain, a little something for your fire. She's the flame to admire. Oh, give me something real. There's a make-believe. Give me something real. There's a make-believe. You feel so right when you stand right next to me. You feel so right. Find a little something in your faith for those morning prayers that wait, that have their final say in the night, wrongs looking for their rights. It takes a lot of strength to be sane for a sinner or a saint. When someone is bruised and scarred, they wear their armored heart. Oh, give me something real. There's a make-believe. talk some sense, a voice in your defense, a touching hand on your chest, touch to calm the unrest, a touch from you.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers all. They're serving alcohol this morning on the premises? No. This one's called Sunlight.
Sunlight, you've been a while in exile. Come back, you're hard to come by, like a familiar sign when you veer off the beaten track. For all the love that you gave, there's a look on your face to fill my world. Sunlight, my feathers are primed, are you ready to embrace? When the light tonight is a fake, there's a sky ending now, waiting for the light to way out the dark, leading through the night to feel the day. When sunlight fills my eyes, I'm waking for a moment in a haze, and I feel I can safely say I'm okay. Sunlight, you waltz into my world like you own me. I'm giddy in flight, I'm losing the sight of the good times and what matters most. Loving sun, don't get too close. The seas are rough, don't fly too low and submerge my world. For every high that you taste, there'll be a high that brings you down. Waiting out the dark, nearing through the night to feel the day. When sunlight fills my eyes, I'm waking for a moment in the haze, and I feel I can safely say, Thank you. So I introduced my guitars, the old ones. This is all the way from Melbourne. This is Mel. Say hello, Mel. She's from 1976, and this is my. It'd be a sad day when we part, girl. Yeah, my favorite guitar. Mandy, this is for you. This is Mona, okay? This is a song from my fourth album. It's called Mona. Can I get some guitar effect, Mona? A bit more fullness on the guitar, say maybe? Take the watch off for this one. I hope you don't mind there. Time. What is time? And now, my next guest is Carl Sagan. Please come to the door. By the house every noon, we're taking the long way, 'cause every step is too soon, and I wish you'd stay here, Mona, lasso the moon, dear, pull it closer. Passing free on them, I'll marry you someday, dressed in white on a hill. So why won't you stay here, Mona, and gamble your life here, Mona? We started with something worth loving, but the endings ahead like a warning. So what of you and the story? 'Cause I'll do whatever it takes. I'll bend every route till it breaks. You're too hopeful and restless, like a bird in a cage. Oh, I wish you'd stay here, Mona. We can make up our rules here, Mona. We started with something worth loving, but the endings ahead like a warning. So what of you and the story? 'Cause I'll do whatever it takes. I'll bend every route till it breaks. I still hear you now whenever you call. Will you stay? I still hear you now whenever you call. Will you stay? One more night with me, Mona. We okay for time? Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, okay, I'll do another one. So at least you got to saw the old Swedish guitar. Didn't get to play it, that's the only problem. Okay, this is the last song. Thank you very much for listening, and what a very surreal experience to be in this room. Yeah, words kind of fail me really. Fuck. It's amazing. My little boy Elliot, he's only 6, and already he's got a lot of Beatles songs on his playlist, as you would expect. So he'll be asking all kinds of questions this afternoon when I get home. So this is for my little boy Elliot. It's called City Headache. City headache, subside your jury tongue, send a doctor to my house. got me a fever coming round the bend, a heavy busload of danger, straight talking. You're sending me to bed, 'cause I ain't walking in my state. This temperature just will not go away, so let it build up in my head. No city headed to knock on my front door. No spewing faces to bug me. Your output level, it's thunder to my ears. A peaking signal from your mouth. Your cleansing water, I'll need to wash away the grime of city laughter of my face. My It's not for me. The speed in which you walk would burn the soles of my feet. I'm congested and I'm choking from the fog of chain smoking freak shows. That's how it goes. Will you just find the road and pack your bags for no? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's going to be beautiful.